Okay, so this is lesson 2-3 part 2. I'll put up 2 videos for this. So, could have copied that down. Let's look at 2 through 7 here. It says, use place value blocks to add or subtract. Well, that's really not practical. They just want to see that you understand how to do it. So here's what I'm going to decide to do. I want you guys to use place value blocks to add number 4. All right? And I'll start it for you. And we're going to use this space. We're going to use this space in here.
To subtract number 4, right?
Or to subtract, thank you, because there is subtraction and addition. So we got 2.73 minus 9.4. So I'm going to draw 10 lines, little lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the 1, and this is the 1. I'm modeling the 2.73, and then I'm going to do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 3 would be, I guess, 3 dots. I'll put a 7 there. I could put a decimal, just a big decimal there so I don't get confused. And I'm subtracting, what am I subtracting? 9.4. Okay. So, I know these are 10 lines. And I'm just going to draw a line this way through 9 of them. So that takes care of the 9 that I'm subtracting. And then 0.4. Well, how would I represent that? Because if I had 4 dots here, I could just X those out. But I only have 3. So I'm going to have to borrow from one of these. Well, I might as well just borrow from this one since there's only one left. I'll just borrow from that one. One of these lines represents 10 dots. So I'm going to put 10 dots here. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes?
It's
9.4. Okay. So, so now I'm subtracting 0.4, which is going to be 4 of those dots. And hopefully that's close enough for you guys to see it. Move this up a little bit here. So I'll just draw a line through those 4. So how many dots do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 dots left. I'll put a little 9 there. And all these lines are gone. So I have 10 lines, which is 1 point. How many lines left here? 7. How many dots are left? 9. All right. Now, you can model it just like I did. You can maybe do it a little bit differently. But that's one way to model adding or subtracting using blocks or lines. Just remember, one line equals 10, a dot equals 1, but actually a dot would be something in the, it'd be the hundredths place. But and I don't think I'm going to demand that you guys do that with all of these, because 8 through 11 it says add or subtract using place value blocks to help. If you just do it with one of these, since I did number 4 for you, that's kind of nice. And then I'll have you guys do that with number 11 also, and I'll leave 11 on your own. So 11's addition, and so you're going to draw 10 lines, and then 10 more lines representing the tenths place, and then one dot. And you're going to add to that 8 lines and then 9 dots. And just do that work right in here. And the rest you can just solve like you normally would. Let's look at the next page here. It says construct arguments. How is adding 4.56 plus 2.31 similar to adding 2.31 plus 4.56? They are. I heard somebody say it. They're both the same. They're the same numbers. Question? Okay. All right. I'll let you phrase that however you want. Think about that one. Number 13. It says write an expression that is represented by the model below. Oh, okay. Well, that should be easy to do. So I'm going to venture a guess that you can see these dashed lines here, and then you're moving them over or away. I'm going to think that's subtraction. So this would be 1 point. Here'd be a decimal, 1 point something. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1.45 subtracting something. All right, let's look at number 14. Without adding the decimals, tell if the sum of 0.46 plus 0.25 is less or greater than 1. Explain. Well, here's what I think. Here's what I noticed, that if this was 0.75, if it was 0.75 and I was adding 0.25, I know that would equal 1. But it's not 0.75, it's 0.46, which is quite a bit less than 0.75. And that's what I noticed right away. So I know it's going to be less than 1. And explain. Well, you could write it down in your own words, what I just told you, which is just one way to look at it. But there's lots of other ways to look at it too. So you put that in your own words. Number 15. Number sense. It says estimate to decide if the sum of 314 plus 175 is more or less than 600. Well, estimating, again, you can't really be specific, but I'm just going to call this 300. I'm going to call this 200, so I'm estimating 25 more there and just 14 less there. What's 300 plus 200 equal? That's going to be 500. So I would say less than 600. Number 16, higher order thinking. It says, do you think the difference of, now difference is subtraction. This is subtraction. the difference of 1.4, subtracting 0.95 is less than or greater than 1. Well, 1.4 and 0.95. Well, 0.95 is almost 1. It's really close. In fact, if I was to round it, it would be 1. So, and 0.4 is almost 1.5, but not quite. So, I could phrase it that way. 1.4 is almost 1 1/2. So, subtracting 0.95 would be much less than 1. Because like I said, 0.95 is almost 1. Number 17. It says estimate 53.8, subtracting 27.6. Circle the compatible numbers to substitute. Well, I see a couple easy compatible numbers here. Those are the only two that I can see.
You could do 54 minus 28. Right?
Well, I wouldn't say those are compatible numbers, though. But these are, because we can just go by fives. So call 50, I'm sorry, raise your hand if you have a question. Thank you. So 53.8, I can just round that to 55, and 27.6 round that down to 25. And that's what they're doing. If you remember from a couple lessons ago, compatible numbers. Okay. All right. We talked about this earlier, perimeters. If I was to draw a shape, and it doesn't even have an exact square, had an odd shape like that, and this length was 7, and this length was 2, and this side here was 7 also, and this was 10, then you just add up each of the sides, because the perimeter is what's around an object. So look at this one here. This length right here, they're saying is 50 meters of this pool, and this length right here is 25. Well, if this is 25, what's this one? If this is 50, what's this one? So you just add those up. And then finally the last one down below here, it says each set of place value blocks below represents a decimal. What's the sum of the decimals? So you're adding up this one and this one together, and explain how you found your answer. So just explain how you found your answer. So that'll be it for 2-3. Let me end this video here.